Tableside Talk. My name is Cam Kelly, and I am a commercial real estate broker with the Langert Commercial Group. To my right is our principal and founder, Evan Langert.
Hi everyone. As Cam said, I am the principal and founder of the Langert Commercial Group. Perhaps more importantly, I'm a veteran of more than 35 years in the commercial real estate industry. So I've done hundreds of deals of all types over the years, and I've seen a whole lot of challenges, a whole lot of deals. And the purpose of these tableside talks is to share some things with you, some information that I've gained, some experience that I've gained, some creative solutions that I've employed that can perhaps help you with your commercial real estate transaction, to give you some things that maybe you ought to think about that you hadn't, that you ought to consider that you hadn't, but just generally to help you in your transaction. So with that as a backdrop, Cam, what are we talking about today?
So today, Evan, we have a case study lined up. Of course, we'd like to outline how we help our clients. And with this specific case study, we'll be discussing comparables and the importance of looking at the data that's behind those comparables. You and I had been speaking earlier this week about a warehouse that we have listed, and there's only really one comparable that's available. And I was hoping you could speak a little bit as to why that might not be the best comparable in this situation.
Sure. So, first of all, I'll back up a little bit. As Cam said, we like to do these case studies to show you how we, as brokers, go the extra mile, do the extra work, ask a few extra questions, consult other people that maybe know more than we even do about a certain subject to make sure that we bring the right answers to our clients. So this involves a warehouse property that was off market that we had somebody who wanted to buy. And they made an offer, and they looked at it, and there were no comparables to speak of. There was one building that sold on the same street in the end of 2021. And they looked at it and they said, well, this is our comp, and it sold for this many dollars per square foot. It was an owner-user opportunity, so that's usually how they're valued. And so we're going to give you a little more for your building. Besides the fact that our building was a little nicer, and that there was a passage of time since the end of 2021, I always like to find out the situation because sometimes you get surprised. So I called the broker that brokered that particular deal, the other property that sold at the end of 2021, and I found out that there were a couple of twists and turns along the way. Yes, it settled at the end of 2021. However, he had been working on this deal since 2018. The person who was selling the building had a business in it, and they wanted a year to wind their business down. So he didn't want to settle for a year. And then after that, the tenant was going for an unusual type of financing, and they needed an extended period of time to do that. So the parties had the buyer of the property lease it for a year. So the price was actually established for the purchase in 2018. So most brokers, and including the people that were on the other side, you just look at it, you see, well, here is a comp in the end of 2021, right down the road. It's sold for X dollars a square foot, and that's the end of that. But I've learned that digging can really help in certain situations. In this case, it helped a lot because and I also know several MAIs. So I know a lot about appraisal for a broker. I spent 5 years as a commercial real estate lender, and my office was right next to the head of our appraisal division. So I know a lot for a broker about appraisals, but I don't know as much as an MAI appraiser who's been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years and does appraisals all day, every day. So I called a 35 plus year MAI appraiser. I had them give me a quick and dirty of what they thought the value was. So it's good to have friends that can help you out in that regard, and I've got a few of those. But also looking at it and saying, okay, I was able to go back to the people who made the offer and say that number was established in 2018. Now, if you follow warehouse sales, you'll know that since 2018 up until now, warehouses went crazy. The pricing went way, way, way up. It's pulled back a little bit in most areas. So the result is the offer that these people made which was not that far below what the property might have been worth back then, was really about almost $800,000 off what the property is worth right now. So I was able to take that information back to them, and then I was able to share the information about the valuation with my seller that spared them from selling their property for maybe $750,000 below what it's worth. So these are the valuable portions of digging, asking the extra questions, being tied in with people. You know, if you know really good insurance people, you might know a lot for a broker about insurance, but you don't know as much about someone that does insurance day in, day out and has been doing it for a long time, or a contractor that's been building buildings day in, day out, or an appraiser that's been appraising buildings day in, day out. So we have those connections, we have those people, those allies that help us out in these situations. And we also do go the extra mile. We do ask those questions, because this is not the first time that anything like this has happened. You do find out things that completely change things. It's not that hard to ask a few extra questions, to dig just a little bit further. So, you know, with that in mind, we'd love to talk with you about your situation specifically, give you a roadmap, a game plan, some insight as to what we think you should be paying attention to. We make ourselves easy to find. We do not charge for initial consultations, so we invite you to give us a ring, call Cam, call myself, give us an email, and we look forward to speaking with you and hopefully working with you on your transaction. Have a great day.
Thank you.